Satnam. Happy Saturday. This is Kundalini Yoga. I'm Mahanraj Kaur. Is there anybody new to Kundalini Yoga? Great. So have you done yoga? No. Okay, good. Good. Then you have nothing to compare it to. No.
I've done a little Kundalini Yoga with Kay.
Oh, okay, cool.
But,
So you're
new.
But you're new. Okay, well, welcome. Welcome. So today we are going to do some work on communicating purely and getting rid of our excuses. Doesn't that sound so good? And I really want to talk about, to you about this energy of this year. It's just like keeps coming. This is whoa, woo, woo, what a doozy of a year. What a doozy. And really getting in touch with not only is this a 9-year and a lot of destruction and upheaval and literally death of all kinds of things this year, but beyond that, it's also the end of a 9-year cycle. So I want us to really, and I'm going to just keep really bringing this up as we move through the different energetics towards the end of the year, okay? So from 2007 to now. And so I just have really been letting that be a part of my meditation, and different things have come up. But then this morning, I, rather than seeing all the things I needed to get rid of and all the things that, are dead, literally, I've got a lot of death going on in my little circle, was something else, and that was returning to some of the things that worked back in 2007. Returning to some of the energies that used to be such a big part of my life, and they have naturally just come in. Like, even like the Tower of Light is very much like something I used to do 9 years ago. So it's not so much Kundalini. It's more prana, it's more sound healing. And then like even songs that I used to play in Crystal Ray, which was a type of yoga I used to with Reiki, I'm going to play one of them. And the song is called Returning. And it's beautiful. And so I'm inviting you to remember what went right. What went right? What used to work and then you stopped. So for me, I'm all about Kundalini, right? And I think the great ones, the masters like Yogananda, Jesus, I think Yogi Bhajan, I think anybody who came with like a method of living or technology, they will all say to you the same thing, only do this. Now, I think there is a very specific reason for that. The reason is when you are learning something, you really need to only do that so you know what that does. Otherwise, it's all mucked up with everything else you're doing. So if you've never given Kundalini a real chance in your life, do yourself a favor and just say, okay, I love this shit. Just as crazy as this shit is, I'm going to do it in the way Yogi Bhajan designed it purely for 6 months and then see where I'm at. So what I'm feeling today is, just naturally, organically, when I teach, yeah, it's Kundalini, but there's just all this Yogananda and all the spiritual arts and the meditation on the light and all the stuff I learned about the goddess that is intertwined in my aura and field, and it's just who I am. And I'm returning to that. And I think we are all built this way, and what really I'm excited about in Kundalini Yoga is it connects you to you. It connects you to your truth. The only reason you're going to do this practice this morning is so you know what's right for you. And only you will know it. And the reason I love this particular yoga, probably the most of all the things I've ever done, is because it gives people a real experience. A real experience. I feel like that there are so many like Lao Tzu and the Christ and, great spiritual avatars, that they only wrote down what they said, though. I bet those avatars also told you how to do what they do. Why wouldn't they? And for some reason, that wisdom got missed. We didn't get to know how Jesus said, here, you want to walk on water? Let me tell you. This is the pranayama you do for 6 months, and the next thing you know. To me, that's the only way this works. Because if he's just a guy, and I'm just a guy or girl, then there's a method of devotion and technique that we can all be. And what we want is different. Like, I'm not particularly, I don't think it's very handy to walk on water. However, I'm just saying, it's never come up, where, God, I really needed to walk on water today. But there's a lot of other things, right? Like self-healing and being able to stay in my happiness. And the biggest one, not doubting and sabotaging myself. And how does one do that on a regular basis? That's what I want to know, right? And that's why we do this technology. And then you are a lighthouse for those around you. When you have mastered that self-love, you attract people who want to be in that. They want that for themselves, and that's the reason they're around you. So this whole 9-year thing, there may be some things that you used to know that you forgot. Even in some relationships, right? Some relationships do not stay. They had to go. But you learned something very important there. That should stay. So we're going to really gather it up in this last bit of 2016. Really learn our lessons and then be empowered by them. So we have lots of opportunities to do that. When I'm going to Tony Robbins, and I'm going to go walk on fire. I cannot believe I've actually signed up for that, because I'm really a fraidy cat. I don't do shit and I even thought before, I just won't do that part. When everyone's doing it, I'll just not be there. But whatever. So when I come back, we're going to have a full moon healing at a house in Carlsbad. So it's empty and it's on the lagoon. So I'll make sure you guys know about that, but it'll be on, I think, Tuesday the 15th, the full moon in Taurus. We're also going to be having the winter solstice here on the 17th. I found this amazing thing with Yogi Bhajan called the Codes to Excellence, and we are going to practice those on the winter solstice. And the biggest thing is let's be together in these deeper dives, okay? When you can do yoga for longer than just a class, you're going to be able to have a substantial gain. That's why you do it. It's is it way different than a class? Yes, it is. Because you get to be in the sound healing more. You get to do more pranayama. You get to do more things that are interactive and ritualistic. So, yeah, you need to do it so you can take that evolutionary leap. And I always, want you guys to know, if it's a money thing, tell me, because I want you there. But mostly it's not a money thing with you. It's a time thing. Well, I don't know. It's Saturday, and it's in the middle of the day. You know what? At some point, you got to be more important than that. That's just the way it is, right? I'm going to cart my cookies to Hardy Jivan after I go see Tony Robbins, because that's the only way for me to get a bunch of Kundalini at once. And every time when I'm driving up there, I'm not looking forward to it. It's oh, God, I have a lot of work to do. Just like you, right? I have a lot of work to do. I don't know. But then, God, I've never, ever, ever, ever walked away and went, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have come. Ever, right? So whatever you do, these are powerful, powerful times. This whole 9-year thing, just keep playing with it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep saying it to yourself, because if you do, the soul will review, well, actually, what about this? Keep playing with it. There is a gem in this last little section of 2016. All of this suffering this year was not for naught. It's going to be the traction that you need to really make a huge evolutionary leap, and we need you to do it. The world needs you to do it. We see what's happening on the Indian reservation, and I said it, cops and robbers, whatever. It's the people. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got pulled over on the way home after the Tower of Light. And I guess when I was at my, Nissan, they switched my lights to where the back lights weren't on. Who does that? What the fuck? You know, I always have everything on automatic so it can figure out itself. I mean, I don't know what it should do. I mean, isn't it horrible now with all these computers? It's like, I don't know how my light should be. Oh my God. So anyways, I'm on the freeway and I see one cop and then another. And I'm like, what the hell? And then they're behind me and then, and I'm like, really? So I get off and two cops cars. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, and they're like, I know they thought I was drunk. And they're like looking at me and they realize, well, that's not it, but she's stupid. Stupider than shit. And they were young, cute little cops. They were just adorable. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't get it. And they're like, I know. And then I like switch it to so where I think it should be for the lights to be right. And I went to get out of my car because I honestly don't know, is that right? I have to go look because I don't know. And they're like, ma'am, get back in the car, get in the car. I'm like, oh my God, something's happening. I get back in the car and the guy goes, do not ever get out of a car when you're pulled over. I'm like, really? Why? He goes, because when people get out of the car, they hurt us. And he goes, you don't seem like you would, but you know what? You never know. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a tough job. Can you imagine being afraid that I might shoot you? But that's where they're at, right? And I was terrified when I got pulled over. My heart was racing. My hands were shaking. It's scary, no matter who you are in that situation because of all of the hatred and turmoil in our world. You just don't know. You're just like, what's going to happen here? So that's why we do Kundalini, so you can have the grit and the light to hold the highest no matter what's happening. Let's tune in. So at the beginning of Kundalini Yoga, we do this chant called Om Namo Gurudev Namo. You guys have it. Don't worry about it for the new people. Just let it move you and listen to it, okay? Take a deep breath. Open up your mouth and sigh. Ah, excellent. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart. Roll your shoulders back. Just this. Feel this invitation. Just this. Just this moment. Feel like you're in this magical vortex where by holding your hands at the center line of your heart, everything else drops away. You are not defined by your past, and you are not concerned about your future. You are right here, right now. Let us tune in. Inhale. Om.